Until the year 2000, people from the LGBTQ community were not allowed to serve in the British military. A report reveals horrific sexual abuse and homophobic bullying among the armed forces. And Prime Minister Sunak is now publicly apologizing to those affected. So British Prime Minister Sunak has apologized to people from the LGBTQ community for discrimination in the ranks of the British Armed Forces. The exclusion of LGBTQ people from our military until the year 2000 was an appalling failure of our state, lagging behind the laws of this country by decades. That's what the Conservative PM said in the House of Commons in London. LGBTQ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and queer. On behalf of the British state, I apologize, said Sunak. There are longer ones, like LGBTQI, but until 2000, these people were not allowed to serve in the British military, and if discovered, they face severe discrimination and dishonorable discharge. According to reports, thousands of people were affected. And Sunak's apology followed the recommendation of an independent inquiry into the armed forces treatment of members of the LGBTQ community between 1967 and 2000, and the findings of that were published on Wednesday. According to the report, terrifying evidence of a culture of homophobia, numerous assaults, blackmail, and degrading medical examinations were found. The investigations makes it clear that there has been horrific sexual abuse and violence, homophobic bullying and harassment of people in the LGBTQ community while bravely serving their country, as Sunak said. He hopes that those affected feel a proud part of the veterans community that has done so much for their country, as the Prime Minister said. Sunak initially did not comment on appropriate financial compensation for those affected, which was recommended in the report, along with other measures such as the return of medals. Until the year 2000, LGBTQ people faced widespread discrimination in the British military. They were banned from serving openly, and those who were discovered to be gay or lesbian were forced to leave. This discrimination had a devastating impact on LGBTQ people's lives and careers. The ban on LGBTQ people serving in the military was first introduced in 1957. It was based on the belief that homosexuality was a mental disorder and that LGBTQ+ people were not fit to serve. The ban was also seen as a way to protect the morale of the troops. The ban was widely criticized by LGBTQ rights groups who argued that it was discriminatory and unfair. They also pointed out that the ban was based on outdated and harmful stereotypes about LGBTQ+ people. Despite the criticism, the ban remained in place for many years. It was not until 1999 that the British government announced that it would be lifted. The ban was finally lifted in 2000 after a long and hard-fought campaign by LGBTQ rights groups. The lifting of the ban was a major victory for LGBTQ people in the UK. It meant that they could finally serve their country openly and without fear of discrimination. However, the legacy of the ban continues to be felt today. Many LGBTQ+ veterans still face discrimination from their former comrades and from the wider military community. In recent years, there has been a growing movement to address the discrimination faced by LGBTQ veterans. In 2017, the British government launched a new initiative to support LGBTQ veterans. The initiative includes a number of measures, such as providing financial assistance and also counseling services. The discrimination faced by LGBTQ people in the British military is a reminder of the challenges that LGBTQ people still face in society today. However, the lifting of the ban in 2000 was a major step forward, and the movement to support LGBTQ veterans is a sign of progress. And I am not blaming the British government here today for a change, because they were not alone in this. The extent might have been different, but in Germany, you were discriminated as a member of the armed forces as well until the beginning of the 2000s if they knew you were gay. You were not kicked out immediately, but you were not allowed to train other soldiers, for example, in some cases and stuff like this. And a member of my own unit went to the infamous ECJ and sued, and after that everything changed here in Germany as well. So it was a long process here as well. And I remember a very old scandal that a high-ranking general had to resign only because he was, people said he was gay. As far as I remember, he wasn't even, but they just said it, and that ended his career. And they just claimed it, and it ended his career. So we are in a different position today, but it's not gone far enough, because I don't mean all stuff with people talking about everything and changing language, what I talked about in a recent video. I just mean for it to be normal. With most people where I live here, it's just normal. It's not even a topic. If a man brings his wife or if a man brings his husband, the majority here doesn't care anymore. But it has to be normal for everyone. That's the point. And we need to get to the point where it is even not a topic anymore, where it's just life. And from that, we are still far away. And if you want to see more about current UK politics or Brexit, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.